I've been around the flames where the fire whips, the kind of place where the laughter of the shadows trick, running around the inferno in a wicked realm, where the screams from your pain doesn't make a sound. I've been to this location, I've known this place too well, I've made peace with this darkness, I'm thinking this is hell. I've seen a peaceful creature die of madness, the place of heathens, demons, and souls that were broken. I don't know where to go when my thoughts are all alone. Am I safe when on this road? I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go when my thoughts are all alone. Am I safe when on this road? I don't know.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 26 of HorrorCorridor, and we are here with Samson Samson. What's up, man?
What up?
How you doing?
Doing all right. How about you?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks. We pushed this back a week because I wasn't feeling so good, so thanks for working with me there.
Yeah, man.
I know people have been asking, like, when aren't you doing an episode with him? Because it's like, man, that new album with the Witch Hunt dropped, man, people are going nuts about it.
Yeah. I like to pay attention to stuff like that, but once I pay attention too hard, it becomes like a fixation to me, and then I'm like, oh, fuck. Now I'm going to, like, stare at all the apps I have.
Yeah, well, don't do that. It's better just to, like, shoot forward, but...
Yeah.
Just to let you know, people are really enjoying it, man. We just used, for the intro track for the episode, Where to Go. The song is killer, man. It just stays in your head over and over on a loop. Do you have that issue, too, with that song?
I had that issue at the start. The funny thing about that song is it actually didn't start on that beat. It was a whole different beat beforehand. The melody was created by the bass line of that beat, and then, like, I just kept adding and adding, and I was like, I wonder if Mish wants to get on this. And I sent it to Mish, and she was like, I'll have it done. And 2 days later, she had it back to me with everything.
And you've done a song with her before, right?
Yeah, just one. There's Enjoy Badness.
Yeah, and
there's a video for it. Yeah,
that's a cool video. Yeah, very gothic, very like 2000s gothic emo style. But like, we'll get more into your relationship with like emo and goth and stuff, because I think that's one really interesting thing about you is that you have all these connections to all these different musical styles, whether it's goth, whether it's emo, industrial, heavy metal. You're not just one lane type of guy, and it comes out in your music.
Yeah. Yes.
So why don't we start from the beginning? What got you into music originally? Like when you were a kid, maybe?
My mom used to sing with me. It's one of those typical stories. Like you get in the car with your mom, you sing with your mom through all those. I'm a 90s baby. All them 90s radio songs, and she'll play her early 80s, like Poison, Kiss, things like that. Yeah, she got me into music, and my brother got me into a lot more stuff afterwards. So
was he into the more extreme stuff, like getting more into the Slipknot and System of a Down kind of stuff, or?
Nope, he was more into like techno and industrial. Actually, it started with like techno, and you know that's really where it goes from that point. And then he found industrial music, and it was like, this is like darker techno.
Yep. Something similar happened to me and my brother too. You know, we got into the Prodigy and like Chemical Brothers and all that stuff. Yes. And that eventually started like I eventually got the Downward Spiral and Pretty Hate Machine, and that was like just totally turned my head around, like this can get pretty fucking dark. And then I was like finding all like the super groups that were coming out, like MDMFMK, stuff like that. And it's just like, yeah, and that stuff just seeps out in your music, even your earlier stuff. Because obviously we'll get into the cross-run production on your new album, The Witch Hunt. But even your earlier stuff does have hints of that industrial sound and the metal, stuff like that. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I try. We'll get into that more.
Yeah. So, how long was it till you got into horrorcore, like in your life? Like what led you down that path?
Wow. So I was like, I guess 10, 11 years old. When I was in middle school, I met a guy named Eric. And his very first question this motherfucker asked me, he's like, do you smoke weed? And I'm like, bro, I'm in 6th grade. What do you think? I don't smoke weed. It's like, I smoke weed. You want to smoke weed? So we smoked weed. And that's when he introduced me to ICP and Twisted. And yeah, that's pretty much where that began.
Hell yeah. And how long was it? Were you just a juggalo, straight up juggalo for a while, or were you getting into like all the other kinds of wicked shit and horrorcore around that time?
I was just a juggalo, but and hearing ICP and Twisted, you hear people like Tech Nine, and that became my everything.
Yeah.
Tech is by far the GOAT to me. Even everybody's like, the new Tech sucks. So I'm like, you got to think, he's done how many fucking albums?
And like,
you
how
can't
many?
keep doing the same thing,
And people just need to count up how many good times have you had listening to Tech Nine, man? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so classic. It's so.
I don't care who you are. If you have been a Tech fan at one point, you can name at least 5 albums of his that really put you in a good place in life.
Highly underrated. No one talks about the Seepage EP. I think
Seepage is great.
It's his best album.
My favorite song by him is on Seepage, actually. It's called Bite Me. I fucking love that song.
I love that song too. Bite me, excite me.
Yep.
That's
his horrorcore stuff is like unmatched to me. It's him and Brother Lynch, and it's them two things just go together.
Yeah, I love
nice.
that. I wish Strange Music would continue some horrorcore. Like now with Prozac not doing anything, and like Brother Lynch Hung has moved on, I think.
Yeah, he got released from the label. Yeah. Brother Lynch got released after his contract, and then Prozac's still part of Strange Music, I believe.
He is. He doesn't really do like solo albums anymore. He does a lot more of the paranormal stuff and podcasting and stuff like that.
Yeah, I missed that. Great Plot.
Yeah, Great Plot.
Yeah, Great Plot was great.
Hell yeah, that was cool. So when did you actually become Samson Samson?
The day I was born.
2 Samsons in a row since the day you were born?
Yeah, that's my real name.
Wow, that is your real name.
That's my real name.
That's a bombshell, man. I didn't know that.
Before, if you're talking about the music-wise, I started with a name called Nicotine the Addict. It was my juggalo name.
I like that, though. That's sick.
And it's a play off Monoxide, of course, but
okay, I could see that now.
I did music under that name for a long time, and then I think I was like 13, 14 years old. I was like not doing it anymore. My friend Davey was like, you could probably achieve better things with your real name because it's badass. And I'm like, I hate my name, but you're probably right.
So was there any story behind why you were named Samson Samson?
In the Philippines, it's actually a natural thing for dads or mothers to name their child the same first and last name. My dad comes from the Philippines, and I am a junior, so I have his name. Yeah.
Wow. All right. I feel like I've already learned so much. So you did go by a few other names, though. There was Samson G when you did the collab with Dark Half in the bottle.
Is
that wrong?
That's actually wrong. I went by Nicotine the Addict for that track. If you hear the beginning of that track, there's a part where it says Dark Half, and then there's a reversed sound for a vocal. Mm-hmm. And that's actually me saying Nicotine the Addict. Oh. And I mean, I wasn't going to argue with them. They did put Samson G up there. I'm like, correct my name. No, I'm not going to do that. I mean, that's my name still. So
where did Samson G? Where do you think they got that from?
The G is my middle initial.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. So that is a really good track, and that would probably have to be my starting point with your music without even attributing it to the name Samson Samson. Just hearing that song, I've heard the Real American Horror Story. So was it that the album it was on?
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard that album so many fucking times. And it's like, yeah, you're just right there in the middle. It's a sad track. It's a drinking track. It's like a drugs and alcohol track, which, Dark Half has like kind of 3 different modes. They have the snuff shit, the drugs and alcohol suicides shit, and then like the gonzo shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
yep.
You got on one of like the sad drug and alcohol songs. Do you want to talk a little bit about that track?
Originally, it was my track. Oh. Long time ago. I was 15, 16 years old, and I didn't realize how much of a big deal Dark Half was. I just kind of listened to them occasionally. And this is back in MySpace. So like I hit up Damien and was like, hey, how can I get y'all on a track? And he was like, send something. Okay. Give me like 2 hours. I'll have something to you. And then I found that beat, sent it to him, and they sent their stuff back within like 2 days. And I mixed it and sent it back. And then they were talking to me like, can you mix our whole album? I was like, wait, I don't know. I'm 16 years old. I'm just now really starting with learning these programs, and everybody thinks it sounds good. And it never happened. I wish it happened, but
And would that have been the Dark Half EP that they were talking about? Or
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's another one that's very underrated. Not a lot of people have gotten around to like listening to their very first release, but that's a cool one. It would have been cool if you got a chance to do it, but I mean, it's awesome that they gave you that offer.
Yeah, and Damien, if you ever see this, hi, bro. It's been a long time. Damien's actually one of the reasons I'm back to doing music, like full force. I put a joke on my Facebook and said like I'm a halfway musician, and he hit me up. He was like, I don't like that halfway musician shit. You're a musician. I was like, okay, I'm sorry, my bad.
Dude, he's got such a beautiful mind. Like the way that he writes his lyrics and the way that he performs them on the tracks, he's just got the craft down, and no one can touch it. So
yeah, that's my boy. I love that man.
Yeah, actually, he said he would be on the show like really early, like a year ago, I think, in a message. So eventually, hopefully, I get around to him because like I got so much shit to ask that dude.
Yeah, there's a whole history with him. You have to list it.
Yeah,
man.
I even want to ask him his side of the story about you. So
if he remembers, I will be there to watch that show definitely, because my toxic trait, that quote, my toxic trait is I remember everything, and I hate it. I hate it so much.
You love to dwell on the past, dig up.
Yes, things. It's horrible.
Yeah,
it's so bad.
I try really hard to shoot forward, just look forward, never look back. But sometimes you can't help it. There's too much weighing down on you. What was the underground horrorcore scene like growing up?
Actually, here in Virginia, it was pretty damn good at one point. I met these guys, and I don't like this guy. First and foremost, I'm going to be that asshole. There's a guy named The Real Chaos. Now, don't get me wrong. If it wasn't for that guy, I wouldn't have got into the horrorcore scene as hard as I did. So I'll say that. But there's a label around called DIE. It was Dark Illusion Entertainment. It was comprised of the guy named Chaos, the Invisible Man, and then a couple other people. And I started listening to them after I saw them open up. I forgot what show it was. It was some show. It might have been like Twisted or ICP. But after that, they hosted something called a Juggalo's Night Out. It was at a bowling alley. And me and my friends went. And then they performed there also, which was fucking cool. And from that point is where I started getting into doing music myself, because, I'm that annoying asshole that was like, insert self.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I'd like to start doing music. Can you help me?
Yep. That's me, too.
Yep.
Anything I'm into or my friends are into or whatever, I'm like, oh, you guys are in skateboarding? I'm going to get better than you.
I'm going to get better than you. Yeah, but not then. They picked up some people that on my main block to sign them. There's a guy named Smoke and a guy named Two Ton, and I know them personally, and I started recording with them a lot. So
nice. So those tracks that you're talking about now, would those ever reach an album of any sort?
Oh no. Are you talking about like the earlier stuff?
Well, I see the Missed Messages album was according to Horrorcore Wiki. It's where I get my discographies. It says Missed Messages 2009 is your first album. I couldn't really find much about that. Would that be those tracks?
No.
Okay.
No. I've been recording music since I was like 13, currently 30, and I think I've done, under the Nicotine name, I've done well over 100 songs.
Wow.
Well over 100 songs.
Damn. And are any of those, like, can you find them anywhere?
Or? I choose not to, but I'm sure you can. And I know some of my friends have our old samples. We used to burn CDs with the fronts and all that other shit and hand them out. Some of my old friends have it. one of my friends has the very first show I ever did. I opened up for a band named Rehab at a place called the Norva, and it was sold out. It was 2,000 people. First show fucking ever, point blank period. Somebody has that. And no, I don't think you'll be able to find anything right now.
I'm curious though. Still, like, just curious because it's like, because back when did the song with Dark Half, like it still sounded very professional. You found your voice at a very young age. It sounds like. When do you think you found your actual performing voice that you use now? I mean, you have a couple different ones, but
the main okay,
like
probably, to be 1,000% honest, I probably found that around Time of Regret, actually, because even in being my own worst critic, when I listen to Regret now, even then I was like, okay, that flow's crappy. I could have done better there. I probably shouldn't have sang this because I can't sing, but I did it anyway.
Oh, it's a very cohesive album. I wouldn't say that you messed up. You noticeably didn't mess up once. I don't think it's just good.
That's why I hate being my own worst critic, because as I got better, I went back and listened to it. It was like, damn, I could have done this so much better. But that's anybody. But that's probably where I found my voice, to be honest. That's where, when I started to learn how to mix and master, when I really wanted to start trying for real. I was really trying before, but that was really me just practicing and working up to the point I am now. So
that's awesome. And yeah, that's, I think, a big problem with a lot of rappers now is they don't get that practice time. They try to jump right into it too fast. And I think that really goes to show like how, like I said, just the Regret EP is very cohesive. But when it comes to the Witch Hunt, which just came out, like I keep telling people, I'm like, this album's going to be huge. Like if it hits the right ears, like it's going to be big. So yeah.
I'm not big on the getting. I don't mind the fact and the thought of getting big as an artist. I really don't. But when I approached Crossworm about Witch Hunt, it was more of I wanted to do the album I've always wanted to do, and you happen to be the guy that has the same interests I do. And then it just kind of kicked off from that point. So
when did you meet Crossworm originally?
I believe he mixed something for me off of the Midwest Monsters album. It was a song called The Internet. And do you know who the Midwest Monsters are?
Yeah, a little bit. I listened to them after the Crossworm episode, actually. Like, I listened to them a lot when they first came out, but I didn't remember them that much. So after Crossworm was like, they're actually really fucking good, I gave them another try. Yeah, they're fucking awesome.
Yeah, Dubs and K-Dot are dope. They're both dope. But no, I got on a song called The Internet on the first Midwest Monsters album, and he got to hear me then. Now, I can't tell you the first time we started talking, but that's when we knew about each other. He helped me through it. He doesn't remember this. Once again, the toxic trait. I remember everything. He helped me through a lot of bullshit before, 12 years ago. I was going through a lot of mental issues, and, he's like, drop this, drop that, do this, keep pushing forward in his own way, which, is the hard way, but the realistic way. So that might have been where we started talking, honestly.
Okay.
So,
and about what year you said that was? Like 2012 or something?
2012, 2013. Yeah, it was soon after the Regret album.
Oh, nice.
Because that's when Dubs heard of me at that point. So.
And did you and Crossworm, you guys are pretty close right now. Like, did you guys keep that relationship, or did it just kind of rekindle recently?
Just kind of rekindled recently. To be 100% fair with everybody, all of my relationships with most people just rekindled. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's good, right? Maybe.
Yeah, it's great. It's wonderful.
Can be. Yeah. That's cool, man. So another collab you did was Low Key's The Creep off of Let's Get Violent. You want to talk a little bit about that track?
Another song that's mine.
Yeah, dude.
Yes,
that could have actually been one of the first songs I heard from you too, as well.
Originally, that was my song, and the story beforehand is I got him on Heroin Lips. Mm-hmm. I paid for him to get on Heroin Lips a long time ago, and when I sent him the song, he was like, "This is really dope," and I was like, "Yeah." Are you down? He was like, "Well, yeah, you paid me, and I really want to be on it, so that's cool." And he sent it back. About 6 months later, I hit him up and was like, "Hey, I put out the sampler on SoundCloud. do you want any of the songs on them? And he took 2 of them. He took both Creep and the Burn, and he completely changed the chorus on Creep and did the chorus on Burn. So
that's awesome, man.
But that's where everything really started for me. Is once again, shout out to fucking Loke, because he pretty much made me a path. So
yeah, man. Like same with like almost half of the people that have been on the show. Like they all got something to say. Loki helped them out in some way or form over the years. He really kicks in the background, but it seems like he does so much.
Yeah, and I've heard bad stories, I've heard good stories, I've heard horror stories, and I've heard fucking he's a saving goddamn angel for everybody. And I don't, the way I know him is a good dude. So
yeah. And he's putting out some good music still. So like his new music is awesome.
Now, don't get me wrong, I don't agree with like the trap stuff, but it's Loke. I'm biased.
Oh, I wasn't talking about that.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, Neon Servant's fucking cool. That's dope. And Crux is great. Crux and Batty Bat, they're all.
I don't think I heard it. I don't think I heard trap stuff. He did.
Oh no, it's like the constant repetitive hi-hats and all the beats and shit like that. Like,
okay.
Yeah, like I can't do that anymore. Yeah. I can do that. I will do that if needed, but it's not good for my ears anymore.
No, I totally understand. It's something that's been done to hell over the last few years. And the sad part about it is I feel like there's a few people that have just perfected that sound. Like if you look at Darby O'Trill or like Dot Strife, those kind of guys, they're adding like their own new flavor to it. But yeah, like
Darby's
overall,
dope.
It's just been Darby's the shit. That's why I love him, is because he takes that trap stuff and he's like, no, I'm gonna make it disgusting, like as gross as possible. Yeah, and it's like I don't know, man. It's amazing. So I really kind of hope that sound takes kind of a back seat for a while, like that trap.
It needs
sound.
A break.
Yeah,
it needs a break, because if it comes back, it needs to evolve at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to be Suicide Boys or Zillakami, but you can't. So
also, like, if you live in cheap apartments, you hear those subwoofers so much, you don't need to be hearing that in your music too, you know. So, yeah,
all the time.
But yeah, there are good trap stuff. But yeah, I agree with you on that.
Bro, don't get me wrong. When I'm working or anything, it's usually trap in my ears. It's either emo, punk, trap. It's the 3 ways.
That's awesome. So let's get into a little bit about like the musical styles you like. You want to, like, first off, emo. What are some like emo groups that you'd recommend?
See, and I'm about to say this
because I don't even know any.
Oh, that's fine. A lot of people are gonna get mad if they like, because like my favorite band is Blink-182, 1000%. But they didn't start off emo. They weren't emo. Like
they're like a garage punk band kind of.
Yes, they're a punk rock. What was our modern day at the time, punk rock band, and and then they turned emo. So if you would have asked, that's my favorite emo band, Blink-182. So they got your really uplifting stuff, and you got the stuff that hits the heart.
Dude Ranch, man, I love the Dude Ranch album from them. It's like got some like they have these happy songs, but they're also like really sad when you like listen to the lyrics. Even the happy ones kind of make you sad. It's weird. Like Damn It is like, it's just got kind of like a melancholy vibe to it, you know?
Yep. And Self-Titled's my favorite. It will always be my favorite. I've recently started re-listening to Neighborhoods, and it's such an underrated fucking album.
I don't think I ever got that far. I think I only got to the one with the nurse on the cover, Enema of the State.
Enema of the State, yep.
That's about as far as I got. But
bro, you have one album till you get to my favorite album. That album's great.
Okay. Is that the one with the cow on the front? Like,
no, it's just got the Blink logo on it.
Oh, I'm just thinking Dude Ranch.
Yeah. Yes. Self-Titled's great. That's the ones like I Miss You, and that's the one song everybody fucking knows. But that whole, and it's got one of my favorite singers on it, Robert Smith from The Cure. Yeah.
Yeah, I love The Cure.
That sells it right there for me.
My favorite Cure song, the Crow theme. You know? Yeah. That's so good.
I don't really have a favorite Cure song. I am very into them, very, very into them. What is that? In Between Days is probably my favorite song if I had to pick one. But I also like a lot of bands that sound like The Cure, but after The Cure. So.
Yeah, for sure. You're probably a Smiths fan, I'm guessing. Morrissey, yeah. That's one I couldn't ever really get fully into, but like I do like Panic on the Streets of London. Yeah. That's good, but like other than that, I'm just like too sad. Kill Somebody, Morrissey, and then I'll listen to it. That's why. Did you ever get into like Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds? No. All right. That's some murder shit, but it's like it's good folk like murder kind of emotional shit, but hard to explain.
Look, I'm down to listen. That sounds great.
Actually, you've probably heard Red Right Hand before. It's on Dumb and Dumber and Scream soundtracks.
I've probably heard it. That yeah.
It was on like every soundtrack in the 90s. But yeah. What are some other genres that you were into?
I love industrial music. It's probably my favorite genre.
What are some of your favorite industrial artists? You sent me some stuff that was crazy. I
Yeah,
can't remember what it was, but
yeah, Cyclone 9. Cyclone 9's dope. They're industrial, but like they're like this heavy pinch of heavy metal.
Yeah.
It's and you ask somebody, how much cheese do you want on this? A handful. These motherfuckers are like, all right, heavy metal. They're gonna throw all of it on there. But they're one of them. And then Skinny Puppy's really they're really on the top of my totem pole. And everybody stopped liking them after a while because they got too techno-ish, but now they just kept evolving.
I like their mid stuff when it wasn't too experimental, because like there's a few Skinny Puppy albums that kind of border on like noise rock, and like my ears can't take that.
The funny thing about industrial music is that it's literally sprinkled in everything. Mm-hmm. Anything and everything we listen to, there's some sort of industrial in it. Yeah. And especially with like pop music nowadays. Nowadays, pop music is riddled with industrial, and nobody will ever realize that unless you've actually heard of it.
You and I were just talking about Halsey. We're both fans, but like she got Trent Reznor on her last album, and I went and saw her live, and she was straight up talking about industrial music and Trent Reznor in between songs. It's like, man, this is gonna go so mainstream.
It's great too, but it's such a shunned sound. It really is, and like there's another group called Wumpscut. All this stuff, mostly my brother got me into. But the the lead singer Ogre, he's in a lot of musicals and things like that. But he's the real reason I listen to industrial music. He makes that really hard, gritty, super distorted craziness that you hear in your head, and then like the repetitive fucking sounds and lyrics, and it's just scary music. It's great.
Do you like the noisy stuff, like Einstürzende Nubaten and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you have to be in the mood, or is it like that on all the time for you?
It's not on all the time, and it really, it's one of those. If it plays in my headphones, I'm gonna let it keep going. Mm-hmm. So
word, that's cool. And then like Frontline Assembly, that's my favorite industrial band. Like they have such a huge group of work, but like they really do
and they're
that.
Good people.
Oh really? You know them?
Yeah. No, I don't know them, but every time you see something, I've met the lead singer, and they're good people. They're good people.
And like that band, I would say when it comes to those, like, I don't know what you call those, like the drive synthesizers that you use on the Witch Hunt, but like it really reminded me of Frontline Assembly of anything. Like a lot of people, I think, were saying Downward Spiral, like they kind of detected some like Trent Reznor in there, but like I was really picking up on Frontline Assembly on that album.
It is Crossworm producing it, so it's gonna have industrial painted all over it.
Yeah.
So, and that's his background in industrial music is much wider than mine. So he's got all this stuff pinned in his head, like, we're gonna make you sound the way you want.
Yeah. No, I still listen to his production, and I'm just like, how does this get made? Like, how does it sound so different than everything? Like, I still scratch my head sometimes. Like, Crossworm's just so original. And
he's got hundreds of beats he's done, and then it's crazy to me. I hit him up through the process of Witch Hunt. Some of the songs are like, all right, I need you to give me tension and hatred and jealousy. And he's like, got you. 30 minutes later, I have distasteful static. I'm like, God, bro, chill. we could have waited next week.
I know, and like the whole time he's cracking you up over Facebook too with his fucking gifs that he's always posting that are like, I'm like throwing up laughing because it's so fucking funny sometimes. Crossroads genius, man. Like
He's the first person to keep up with me too. That's the reason I love working with him. When we started Witch Hunt, it was literally okay, we're gonna do it. All right, we're gonna do it. Let's start. I make 2 wax songs within 2 days, and I'm like, no, this isn't it. Third day, I find a sample from a pile of beats. I say extend it, and then we just skyrocket from that point. Then the witch comes out.
That's awesome. And like to any of our listeners who haven't gone over to the Dirtcore YouTube and checked out the listen along party for Witch Hunt, which is just Samson Samson and Crossworm, you do get a little bit of insight over what was going on while those tracks were being recorded, the good times and the bad times. So definitely, if you get a chance to go over to their YouTube, check that out. You learn a lot about the album.
But yeah, no, Crossworm's great. When we decided to finally like start really talking and get into it, yeah, no, we meet eye to eye 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10 for real.
That's awesome.
So,
you think you guys will ever do anything like live performances or anything like that together?
No, I've spoke to him about that, and he's he doesn't like performing. He likes to do drumming. He'll do drumming and he'll run the sound, but he doesn't want to perform.
Nice.
So, which is fine. I understand because performing is really not for everybody.
How sick would that to see Crossworm in the background on the drum set, though? You know
that. Bro, I was just talking to him about that. In that same video, I cannot wait to open up a show with the Witch Hunt intro, and then when the witch starts playing and the boom bat sound right in the very beginning, him playing the drums for that, and then dropping into that beat, dude. No. I can't wait.
So I know you can't hit people at hip hop shows, but like I used to be part of the hardcore scene, and when a song like Witch Hunt would play, and you had to have a beat like that going before the guitars would kick in and stuff, that's when the side to side starts, and people are going side to side, and that's when anyone that's on the side gets punched right in the face. It doesn't matter if you're a kid, a woman, pregnant, you're getting punched. Meanwhile, in the middle, everyone else is getting punched too. And like,
we're gonna make a wall of death on accident.
I just want you to encourage the audience to beat the living shit out of each other during that song.
I'm too positive for that, but I will say if it happens, I ain't gonna stop it. Unless I see somebody really getting their ass kicked, I'm like, no, bro, stop.
Yeah. No, as long as they're not like having a boot party on someone's face, you're good.
Yeah. No, I can't wait for that. I cannot wait. But that's the only way he'll perform. That's it. Yeah. I've tried pestering him about that. He's pretty dead set on that. So
did you ever go to like hardcore metal shows, anything like that, and get wild in the pit or anything like that? Or
oh yeah. Oh man, I'm huge into new metal because pretty much new metal is just the one step above what we like as industrial.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, there were a lot of bands that made that bridged that gap, like Orgy, Stabbing Westward.
Orgy is by far my favorite when it comes down to that time period.
Yeah, like, their second album is like. Their first two albums
Vapor Transmission and Candy Ass are dope.
Perfect albums.
That's where my love of like the creepy sound and of darkness shit, like that's where it all comes from.
And he always sounded like kind of like a cleaner Marilyn Manson almost. Like it was like not as like gritty.
I got a cookie. There's the cookie. I have a whole ass cookie.
Oh hell yeah, man.
All right, but yeah, that's where the whole entire thing comes from. Like it's the creepy sound and all that. And same thing with like Korn. Jonathan Davis is probably my all-time favorite composer, artist, whatever you want to fucking call him. He's everything. He does everything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try this cookie on live stream.
Yeah.
Or not live stream.
Yeah, let me know how that cookie is.
Bro, it's fucking delicious. I do.
You just had a mouthgasm.
The person in the background's about to get signed soon, but you don't know who that is yet. So.
Ooh. Signed by who, though? Dirtcore?
If you want to look over, you can. Just look over. Okay.
Well, the secret's not out yet. Maybe they're a future guest on the show. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, probably. Thank you.
You're welcome. Here's the hint. I have a praying mantis tattoo.
She has a praying mantis tattoo. That was the hint.
All right. All right.
She has a lot of tattoos. That's the hint. There you go.
And I'm stupid.
All right, I'm gonna have to do some digging and some thinking, but I think I'll get this.
Love you. Bye.
Right.
That's awesome. That's your roommate? I'm guessing.
No, it's no.
Right
Not my
on.
roommate.
So many questions. So, were you ever into like? Asked you if you're ever into like metal, punk, and stuff like that, and you were into new metal. What were like your top metal bands other than like Korn? Like all metal bands, not just new metal.
The top?
Yeah, just off the top of your head. Like you don't have to go like too deep, but I'm just kind of trying to pick your brain on like what inspires like the screaming and like all this stuff.
Slipknot.
Yeah.
Slipknot. 1000% it's Corey Taylor.
Word. I can see
I've
that
listened.
big time in your music.
1000% it's Corey Taylor. That man could rap, and he's not a great rapper, but he does it. But when it comes down to like his melodies and screams and shit like that, yeah, no, it's 1000% Corey Taylor.
Corey Taylor can rap fast too. It's not like the cleanest style, but it's like I remember back on Mate Feed, Kill Repeat, and like I don't remember what the song was. Gently, I think it is. And he's like doing some like weird Mike Patton like funk rap, and I'm like, what the hell?
Wait, no. Mate Feed, Kill Repeat was a different singer. They didn't pick up Corey Taylor until Self-Titled.
Well, now I know that.
Yeah, it was a guy named Cuddles for that song. But to be fair, they did redo Gently on the extended version of Self-Titled.
Oh shit!
So,
really?
To be fair, you probably heard that one because that might be the Corey Taylor version.
Oh wait, no, I have heard that one. I've heard them both. Yeah,
yeah,
for sure. I don't even know if Gently's the actual song I'm thinking of, but does it have the fast rapping on it?
Yeah, and Spit It Out does too. Spit It Out is where he really gets it going.
Love that song. Slipknot. You like all their albums?
Take away All Hope Is Gone, and not all of Hope Is Gone, but mostly All Hope Is Gone, and everything else is great.
Mine is. I agree with you. I'd take away half of All Hope Is Gone, and I would take away the Great Chapter. I think Great Chapter is a little bland, personally.
That's because they were finally getting into something without Joey Jordison. That's my theory on that. Because Joey Jordison definitely added a flavor to that band no other band will ever have, ever.
Yeah, for sure.
And don't get me wrong, the new guy is really fucking good. He can definitely drum his ass off.
Yeah.
But he's not Joey.
What was the album they put out before the newest one that just came out? It had the mask on the cover. It was really good. I couldn't remember.
I thought it was The Great Chapter that was their last album.
I don't know.
I know they just released a new album. They just released
a new one. Yeah, the one that came out before that was really good. It came out like 2 years ago, I think. It was fucking great.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
That's the bad part.
Yeah.
My favorite album by them is either going to be Self-Titled or Subliminal Verses. It's one of the two. I love Iowa. Iowa's great front to back, but just those two.
Yeah. I don't think you can beat the Self-Titled though. Just how raw that is and how many layers there are on top of each other.
Yep. And all the memories too.
Yeah. Dude, like just seeing those guys in jumpsuits beating each other up on stage was like that opened my mind to like a whole new style of like extreme metal. Like that was what led to Cradle of Filth. That's what led to like
love Cradle.
Like anything that was heavier than that mainstream metal was because of Slipknot. That's how I found it.
Cradle does it right, in my opinion. Cradle decided. Danny's like, all right, every single album I'm going to change the band.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You're going to do what?
Yeah, he definitely does that. And that's why they have their highs and lows, and like recording wise, like at the beginning it's all over the place, but like those early albums are so fucking great.
He just needs to make a final Cradle of Filth. Like you take all the best band members from all the albums and be like, this is Cradle of Filth. We're an ensemble of death.
You know what's crazy? The only time I've seen them live, I was interviewing them, and I got to watch their sound check without makeup or costumes or anything, and it looked so weird because they were just like
so weird. And Danny's so short.
Like I don't think they had the soapbox on stage yet for him to stand on. So
nope.
Yeah.
I got to meet good old Danny with just a beanie cap on and no makeup and no shoe or no big ass boots. Nah, it's a lot shorter.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna be.
I interviewed one of the guitar players. I think his name was Paul something, but I can't remember. It was 15 years ago. So, and I who knows if he's even in the band anymore because they've changed it up so much.
I've met Danny. That's it. I don't even bother to meet the other band members because they're not going to be.
They're just going to be gone.
They're next year. I'm going to be like, well, where's Aaron at?
He went out for a pack of smokes.
And he never came back.
So, did you ever produce your own beats?
Nope.
Nope.
I wanted to get in producing badly, and actually, within this last year, bought a MIDI keyboard to do so. But that's also around the time me and Crossworm started talking, and it was like, all right, I'm not producing anymore, I guess.
Yeah. It'll be a shame the day if you and Crossworm ever decide to take a break or something, you're going to have to look for someone else's beats, and it's going to be like, got to find someone else with that head, with the same head, you know?
That won't be hard if the project doesn't call for what I want from Crossworm. But everything I want is going to be what I always want something from Crossworm because that's the sound I like. But
that's the sound that works too. Tried and true.
Godsynth is really fucking good. That's my boy. Like I've known him for years, performed with him, hyped for him, and yeah.
Yeah, I think
I could easily do a project under him.
Or a 7-track. I think 7. Obviously, you were talking about Tech 9. Have you ever rapped on a 7 song?
Nope.
No.
You're talking Michael 7 Summers, right?
Yeah.
Nah,
no.
I wish. I mean, that's kind of cool, but no disrespect to 7 because he's a legend in the game. But I got Crossworms.
Hey, I agree, man. I think Crossworms is like I said, Crossworms like got alien space technology music, where like down everyone else is just like it's got this.
It's
cool
hard
sounds,
to look back.
Yeah.
Like, after 10 years of not doing music, and since I was 13, I wanted to do industrial and hip-hop. So, all these years built up to this, so it's hard to look back when Crossworm's like, hey, I'll do it, you do it, and everything's perfect.
So how was the, like, quote-unquote signing, like, or maybe when he came to you and asked if you wanted to be part of it, how did that all work out?
He actually didn't come to me at first. It was, you remember the song See What You Can't on the album?
Yeah.
Well, I approached him. I was like, all right, you're one of the only people in the underground scene that will tell me to my face that this sucks. How is my mix on this? Just the sound quality. That's it. So I sent him the original version of See What You Can't with my mix, and he sent me like 6 videos of saying, this is really good, actually. Nice. he would argue that it would be an almost final into the master and things like that. But that's where it started. And he was like, I really like this song. This is like some Dirtcore stuff. And I was like, hell yeah. And then he didn't say anything about the label then. Because at first it wasn't even going to be a label. I'll let him explain that one day. But it was like a month later, I believe. And I paid him to mix and master a track for me and Diabolic. And then we didn't even get to that point. Like, I sent him the money, and then we started talking about Dirtcore.
That's awesome.
You like industrial music? Yeah, you do too? All right, we might be able to work this out.
That's sick, dude. And it's like a match made in heaven. Like
a match made in hell, bro. Like, it's...
That's dope, man. So you got a couple different lyrical styles. Do you want to touch on like the different concepts that you get into in your music?
I really kind of follow the logic of rapping to the drums, which is kind of weird. I guess that like basic rudiments and things like that. And I play drums myself, so it's really easy for me to flow off drums in general. That's awesome. When I'm writing for a song, usually the process is to listen to the drums at first, and then if I can create my own drums in my head, that means I can create my own flow. So that's really where that stems from. And then like everything else is just the convolution of all of the stuff I enjoy in music. There's a heavy influence in tech in my earlier stuff. There's a heavy influence of Twisted and ICP and everything I fucking do. Same thing with Low, because a heavy influence with Low stuff in my music.
I could definitely pick up on the low-key influence on your Regret EP.
Bro, yeah, no, He's one of my top influences. I've listened before we were even friends. I was listening to him. So
yeah, but I also like it's crazy because Regret came out 2012, but I almost like there's like hints of Dirtcore in there, like kind of like it reminds me of like if you were to take Crossworm out of the Witch Hunt project, like I feel like there's fragments of that in Regret EP.
see, that's the fun part. Is like I said, for since I was 13, I've always wanted to make that type of record, and you could really like me and Loke's song "Heroin Lips." That's really where you hear that sound,
Yeah,
like 1,000% seductive succubus. Same thing with that one.
yeah,
It
you
was
got
all
all the
produced.
like demonic filters over the voices and stuff like that.
That's just my trademark shit, though.
Yeah.
I've been doing that forever. Like that's, I was like, if there's gonna be something about me that needs to stand out, kind of like Tex Cha, it's gonna be these damn ad libs that keep getting cranked down to stretch voices and devil shit.
That's dope.
Yes.
That's dope. Were you raised religious at all?
Yes and no. That's a really hard question to answer. My mom is raised Christian, and she wasn't the type to be like, "Hey, we're going to church every Sunday."
Mm.
So, but because I used to go to church when I was little, and a family member of mine died, and you know, it's the whole typical, "Why the fuck would you let this happen?"
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and that's where I stopped believing in it. Then I started studying other things. So,
Cool. So how do you create a balance between songs that are emotional and songs that are about murder? Because that's kind of seems to be like sometimes like it seems like you have like your if you were to be a character. I'm not saying you are,
no,
but
yeah,
like,
no, you're good.
but like it's basically this dude that's very emotional and like has a lot of baggage and shit like that, and every once in a while just fucking flips and snaps and makes a skin suit.
Yep. You hit that right on the head. Is I don't. There is no separation. Everything that I do stems from something personal. Literally, like the heaviest track on the album, "Gone," the screaming and all that other stuff. Yeah, that's I have anger issues out the yin yang. Well, used to have anger issues out the yin yang, and that's really where that stems from.
Yeah. Well, it's great that you have the outlet and that you found that because the screams are very primal. You know, like they're very like cranked up. Like
That's
I don't know how you don't.
overdrive.
I don't know how you don't peak out your mind, like your gain on that so hard because it's like you're just belting it out. You can definitely tell there's a lot of rage in there when you're at the studio. Do you think that's a good way? Like that gets it all out for you nowadays? No.
It's never gotten it all out. Actually, I mean, it's just a part of being human. You never really truly get over something that hurts. It just kind of sits there and scars and stays there, and it helps. Me wrong, but at the same time, the curse of being an artist is that you're forever reminding yourself of your hurt.
Are there any ways that you maybe take your mind out of it, or other ways to help like deal with that rage other than the music?
I used to box. That used to be a thing. I used to do sports. I go on walks, drink plenty of water. Things. It's simple things on most things. Like
Yeah.
then if being self-aware is really big.
Yeah.
Like when you start really knowing, you start knowing what's wrong with you, and you can really start chipping away at all the problems.
That's awesome.
12 years ago, I had no idea. I was just a raging asshole. So
That's great, man. Well, congratulations for gaining that self-recognition and like turning some shit around, I guess, like emotionally and stuff.
yeah, bro, I died. I died.
You
when
died?
I was, yeah, I died when I was 18.
You want to talk about that?
Hey, it's no secret that I used to be addicted to pills. I talk about it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to take a lot of ecstasy and a lot of prescription pills. I used to do the rave scene thing and all that and sell and blah blah blah. And one day, I guess I was like, let's try to test my tolerance. Do you know what a Skittles pack is?
Mm-mm.
A Skittles pack is a prescription bottle full of random whatever drugs you could fit in it.
Yeah.
So I
that
just
sounds
took it
bad.
back. It's horrible. So
Oh.
I tipped most of it back and then fucking drank about a half gallon of 151. And
Oh.
yeah,
You
my
had to
friend-
chase it with the hardest alcohol there is.
it's the only alcohol I like.
Damn, bro.
my friend or my roommate at the time, he noticed that I didn't go to work, and he waited a couple hours, and then he opened the door and found me dying, pretty much. Got me to the hospital. They put me on life support, put shit down in my stomach, tried to pump me, and they said I died for what, 7 seconds? It was crazy.
Holy shit, man! Did you lose any functionality for a while? Or?
No, that's the funny part. That's not funny, but that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely, I guess you can call it a miracle case, because most people come out of it and having withdrawals and having to do it. No, I quit.
Wow.
You just told me I died. I'm done. I have a daughter.
Yeah.
I don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah. Congrats, man. I'm really happy that you made it out. And I'm also happy for your daughter that she has a dad now. So let's switch it up a little bit. What are some of your favorite horror movies?
This is going to be a surprise. I'm not a big fan of horror movies.
Okay.
I love horror movies, don't get me wrong, but I'm not into slasher flicks. I don't think slasher flicks are horror movies. I think they're action flicks. And I'll never call Freddy versus Jason a horror movie ever. That fight was too good. Like, it could be revered as one of the best fights in history, to be 1,000% honest.
Well, it was the director of The Bride with White Hair, right?
Yeah.
So it was like I don't know why they got like a kung fu director in there, but yeah.
And it was dope, and I'll never be able to look at it as a horror movie ever. But like, the most recent one I watched is really good, like Black Phone. I like mental horror movies.
Yeah, I've been meaning to check that one out. It's good?
It's wonderful. It's one of the best. I always have this conversation with my friends. Can you truly name a really good original horror movie in the last 5 or 10 years?
It's tough.
It's really tough.
And I have a horror show, and I can't even fucking think of it.
Like, Black Phone is one of those original things that I was like, this is going to be whack, but I'm going to go see it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I haven't watched a horror movie in a long time, and I want to go see one. Went and saw Black Phone, and when you know what's good is I jumped. I never jump. I don't give a fuck what it is. I don't ever jump.
Yeah, yeah.
And they don't overdo things. You know how most fucking horror movies try to like jump scare you all the time, or the sound keys are what are they're huge in horror movies. Like, you'll hear the loud synth, and when it gets quiet, you know something's about to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not Black Phone.
Yeah. Did you ever get into like Grindhouse or like extreme horror, or like the nasty gory stuff?
No. I mean, I did. It's just not something it stuck.
Yeah.
I watched things like that. I've watched snuff flicks and things like that, and it's just things that I can't get into it. It's more action to me than anything.
Yeah. It's crazy because like in your lyrics and stuff, it almost plays like a horror movie, but like that's just coming right out of your rage. I love it.
And I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong. I like horror movies. I do. It's just a lot of good horror movies only come from places you don't want to look at ever.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go on Netflix all day 10 years ago and find stupid things that the mainstream loves, but
yeah,
I have to go some extreme site to find something mind-boggling.
Yeah, it's usually the foreign and the indie films that are doing stuff that's different nowadays. I mean, it's been that way for decades, honestly, but yeah, you have to dig deep if you want to find good horror now. It's not given to you on a plate like back in the Friday the 13th days when, you get a Jason and a Freddy movie every year. Now you have to actually like dig for like a good, well-written thing. And sometimes, like, I don't know if you've ever seen Creep, but like it's literally just has two actors in it talking the whole movie, and it like ends up being a really good psychological horror film.
Yeah, it's a good one. They was really good. That's the one that really stuck with me when I was younger.
I remember seeing the previews for that. I don't think I ever saw it though.
It was a long time ago. And then I like the stupid things like Grudge and The Ring because I was young and that's what scared me at the time. And then there's like, oh, never mind. I actually really like this type of stuff.
Dude, the Japanese versions of those are actually pretty scary though.
Absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
Absolutely, like the Ringu.
Yeah.
Ringu, oh dear Jesus. And then the Grudge, the original Grudge. Even like the remakes they did. Yeah, Ju-on.
Ju-on is fucking freaky.
Ju-on is great.
I let everyone borrow that movie. It's like, you got to see the Japanese one, man. Because it's like, they put all these things in the movie that like, it just looks a little off, and then psychologically just kind of like you're like, what the fuck? And like you see it in your mind when you close your eyes. It's weird.
I forgot which one it was, but I got to see it was a Japanese flick where a person got pushed through as a printer of some sort, and they came out flat, and all their bones are flat. And I'm like, yo, this is Japanese shit. I don't ever want to go to Japan. I don't ever want to go.
I remember there's one called Gozu where they bring a bunch of Yakuza, like it's basically a Yakuza dumping site. So they take Yakuza to this car compacting place, but they like afterwards they have these like a laundromat, like these skin suits with the Yakuza tattoos on the backs, like just hanging and steaming in a steam room.
That's dope though. That sounds great.
Yeah, that's Takashi Miike. He's the guy that did Ichi the Killer in Audition and shit. Like he just goes way too far.
Yeah, but back to the original answer. I love horror movies, but there's not really much that impressed me.
Yeah, I feel that nowadays for sure. Like I always tell people, you got to go back nowadays because there's not a lot coming out. I gotta check out that new Hellraiser. Hearing mixed things.
I heard it was bad. I want to see Smile. That just came out.
Yeah, that looks interesting too. But overall, it's like I don't even really care too much about that new Halloween movie coming out because the trailer looks just like the last two. But then I'm kind of starting to think that they did that on purpose because the person that she's fighting isn't actually Michael Myers, and that's my theory. But we'll move on to horrorcore. What are some of your favorite horrorcore artists and releases?
I'm gonna go back to the original. Like, what really solidified me getting into horrorcore music and doing it. There's a group called Stitches that lives here in Virginia. It's my friend Chaotic and my friend Methodical, and that's where I really come from. That's where it really stems from. Chaotic he's like my brother. No matter what we go through, that man will always be a brother to me. But he's
I've
the
actually
reason.
listened to that record before.
The Stitches? Which one?
The one with
the Reopen Wounds.
It has blood on the cover. Yeah, Reopen Wounds.
Reopen Wounds.
I thought it was Jeff Moser Stitches, and so I was listening to that. I'm like, this doesn't sound like Stitches. And then now I have you to explain to me that it's actually a group.
Yeah,
I thought
it's
it
an
was
old group.
Oh wow, I thought it was just another guy named Stitches.
To me, they were the peak of Virginia horrorcore. That's to me. And then you had DZK, but he didn't do a lot of horrorcore. He did horrorcore, but DZK is like the most known out of all of us. But then there's Stitches, yeah, they're the pinnacle of horrorcore here in Virginia. And then of course there's Loke.
Yeah.
And I like Bloodshot a lot. I like all of my friends that do horrorcore, but they don't do horrorcore. If that makes sense. It's
actually explain that one a little bit.
They can do it at any point in time and flawlessly do it with flying colors.
Yeah.
But it's not their main thing.
Like they have horrorcore tracks once in a while, but yeah, kind of like Eminem does nowadays, sort of.
Like Dubs. Dubs is a phenomenal fucking artist. Phenomenal artist, but when the man does horrorcore, you'd really actually kind of get scared of the guy.
Yeah. He goes pretty dark on his horror tracks. It's like because I didn't really expect it from him when like the songs I heard with him with the Joker and stuff are very positive.
Yeah.
And then like listening to Midwest Monsters or like maybe just like some solo stuff of his is like pretty dark.
Yeah. But that's where Mission Infect is with like things like King Gordy. I don't really like him now, but King Gordy and damn near all of LSP.
Yeah.
I grew up in that time. That's when these people were on their rise is when I was listening.
Hell yeah.
So,
that's cool. That's a good roster of people though, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, like, you think you'll ever reach out to Bloodshot, work with him sometime?
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
Saws up.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, he's I've been listening to him for a while. I just never reached out. So.
Yeah, man, that'd be great. Just like with any of the horror crunk artists, like Concrete and Ill Nickel, all those guys are fucking crazy. Just like the craziest fucking horrorcore coming out right now, I think, is like coming from horror crunk. just all over the place, like just but so talented. So, do you have any hobbies outside of music?
Cooking and video games.
Nice. What are you playing right now?
It's multiple things. And then I really don't have time to really play much anymore.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough to find time as an adult.
I mean, I was doing it a lot before, but the main game I play is Destiny 2. I'm really big on the shooters.
Nice.
And then, I mean, I love ARPGs a lot, like the Path of Exile, Diablo, Lost Ark, shit like that.
Nice. Did you ever play Diablo 2? I was really into that, like, as a kid.
Oh, yeah, I loved it. And then they recently released the remaster, Resurrected.
I seen that.
It's really good.
Yeah, a lot of people are streaming that and stuff. Did you ever get into like battle royale games like PUBG or Fortnite? That's the shit I play.
Yeah, I had a stint.
Yeah.
I bought Fortnite before it was a battle royale game. Like when they were like, we've been making this since 2012, and I've been watching it since then. And it was like
a
this
tower
is just
defense game.
It was a zombie horde game.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's exactly that actually. And I played the original. It was really good, and they added battle royale, and I tried it, and I was like, all right, this is whack.
Yeah.
I don't like, but Apex.
I play it all the time though.
Apex was my turning point.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because Titanfall is my shit.
Mm-hmm.
And when they went on stream, I think it was E3, and they're like, all right, here in like 10 minutes, you can play our new Battle Royale game, Apex. And then you're thinking to yourself, this is Respawn. Y'all are literally going to give us a Titanfall Battle Royale. And that's exactly what they did without the Titans.
And it was like on launch, it was such a playable game. Like it wasn't all janky.
Yes.
And it was great.
Bro, my first match, I didn't meet these people, of course, it's online. And in the beginning of the match, we said that if we win, we're going to stick with this team until we lose. So we won the first round. 27 games later, we were like, all right, we got to stop playing. 27 wins later, we were like, we're done. We can't do it anymore.
It sounds impossible.
It was great, bro.
See, you're kind of bringing me back to the early days of Apex because I was really good when that game came out, and then I took a break and I came back and I got my ass kicked. I was like, what
I get shit on now, bro.
Like I can still keep up in Fortnite and PUBG, but like Apex, people are next level these days.
And the only game I really took serious was Destiny, and I was top 10,000 in the world for PvP.
Jesus.
And that's at 1 million, so that's, yeah.
That was dope, man. That takes some dedication. Did you have a clan or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, damn right, yeah.
What was your clan called?
Right now, I can actually, give me 1 second. Wait a minute.
I was part of a DayZ clan recently, and I had to quit because they were like, we need you to like meet us like at this town at this time and fucking do drills for. I'm like, hell no. I'm not taking orders from anyone.
I ain't doing that shit.
I almost shot everybody in my squad.
Oh no!
I was gonna shoot him and kill myself.
The clan I'm currently in is called Savathoon's Baboons, but they're all really good people. So like,
that's awesome. Dude.
And they're all willing to help other people too.
That's awesome. I love gaming, man. But yeah, it's definitely hard when you're working and have kids or family or just a life at all. It's like getting even a full game in is almost impossible sometimes.
Look, the girl I'm with likes to play video games, so
hey, very good.
It works out.
That's dope, man. Are there any topics you don't talk about anymore?
To be 100% fair, if I don't talk about them, I'm not supposed to. But, I mean, the Given one with my ex-wife, I don't like talking about that much anymore.
Yeah. If people are interested, they can just listen to the tracks.
Yeah,
back
and
in the day.
I didn't say back in the day. It hasn't even been a year. That's the bad part.
Oh, really?
It hasn't even been a year. This happened recently.
And what track specifically are you talking of?
There's a track on my YouTube called Dear Dad.
Yes.
And that came out in December, I believe, but this has been going on since November. It'll be a year next month, but it hasn't even been a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually had to message you about that song to kind of clarify what was going on, and when you told me, it blew my mind. So, Yeah, but you can tell by listening to the track. It tells you exactly what happened, and I'm like, holy shit.
It's fucking disgusting, man. It's embarrassing. It's disgusting. It's one of those moments where you ask, what the hell did I do? Because, like, in order for a human being to do that to somebody, you had to majorly fuck up somewhere.
Yeah, it takes a lot of disconnection to, like, do
a lot of disconnection.
Yeah. So,
really,
just letting you know, though, like, when all's said and done, you don't look like the bad guy. There's no embarrassment on your part. Like I think you come out unscathed. It's like they're the ones that probably make themselves look bad. So
it's not even me that I feel bad about. It's really my mom that I feel bad about, and my daughter. Like, yeah. If anybody is listening to this and you go in and listen to the song, you'll understand why. But
yeah, it's a powerful song, and I think it's an important song, and I'm really glad that you kept it up. Like, and didn't, like, I don't. Were you ever, like, thought about taking it down or like that?
No. That's another problem with me is that I like to immortalize my problems. I think I said that to you recently.
Yeah.
I don't. And as a musician, you know, that's hard because you want to kind of get over those things. We've talked about this already, and I can't. So I immortalize them, and mainly it's to be a dick in some ways. Honestly, like, you wronged me. I'm gonna make sure everybody knows.
Yeah, you have the platform
forever. Yeah. I will immortalize you, and you will be known as that person. So,
hell yeah. Any, like, taboo subjects that are just, like, too gross? I mean, obviously there's the King Gordy type stuff, but, like, would you ever, like, I don't know, is there anything just too gross to talk about, or do you think?
Oh, that I won't rap about?
Yeah. Because you have some pretty shocking lyrics. You don't take it, like, to, like I said, King Gordy. But, like, sometimes I'm like, damn, I can't believe he just said that.
I can't really say King Gordy's shock value rap either, because he just says anything off the top of his dome that sounds nasty. Like, one minute he's talking about Vader, which he considers himself the Dark Vader of rap.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's talking about gay butt sex. And you're like, what? What's dark about this? They're gay people having butt sex. I mean...
Hey, it works for me. I don't know why everyone's complaining about it, but I think Vader's an awesome album.
No, Vader's dope. I'm just saying, like, there's not really, and then, for me, there's not really much I won't talk about. Like, pedophilia, I probably would never touch on that subject.
Yeah, that's a niche subject.
Unless I'm talking about the other person and a story, but it'll never come out of my mouth as a thing. Like,
yeah, but I even think it's kind of played out now, like killing the pedophile. It's like being the vigilante. It's like it's been done so many times. To catch a predator. Yeah, ICP's done it. They've been doing it since the beginning. So
since the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I listened to, you ever heard of Sutter Kane?
Yeah, August Underground and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Cannibal Ferox and shit like that. Yeah, no, so there's really, I listened to all of that crazy shit. It just, those things won't really, I don't have the voice to sound as tough as someone like Kane.
Yeah.
When you're talking about busting glass bottles and your baby daughter's pussy, that does not come out of my mouth.
You know, I'm gonna clip that. No, I'm not.
And send it to Kane. He'll understand. That's funny.
Yeah. It was like, I think it was the God Hates Us episode a few episodes back. Me and those guys were goofing about those lyrics on August Underground. They take it a little far.
But that was Kane, though. That was his at the time, he was the only one doing that hardcore death metal boom bap sound.
And he was sampling Himza. Have you ever heard Himza before?
Yes.
Dude, they're Seattle. They're local to me. Like, Pettibone is the shit. Like,
that shit is crazy.
Pettibone actually bounces at the local club that, like, Concrete always plays at. So
oh yeah, that's dope.
That's Seattle.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
He was the only one doing death metal and boom bap like that, and like you had to have those gritty lyrics. Yes, it was him and Kid Crusher was the two at the time.
Kid Crusher did some good ones too, man. Like, especially like he had one. I think it was with Kung Fu Vampire. Had like a Pantera sample in it. It was awesome. And then he plays guitar, so like That was
That's where some of my Scream stuff is actually stemmed from, is Kid Crusher. I'll admit that, because like with the evil is a state of, I was like, yo, bro,
yeah,
this is dope.
yeah. You guys got the higher end voice, so like you can do the squawk, like the Danny Filth squawk, where I could never do that.
I can't do the howl. I will never do the howl, bro. Like, no.
I can do the, but I can't do the like anything like above that, maybe, because I got that voice, you know.
It's crazy because like we grew up listening to all the horrorcore artists we're pretty much talking about. I'm just now getting to the point where I'm like, hey, you don't know me, but you do, but you don't.
Yeah, dude.
Hey.
You're making it to the big kids table. Is that how it feels? Maybe, like, I don't know, but you just jumped back in after 6 years off, so it's like you were kind of always there. It was just
I was technically already at the big kids table for a long time. I was living off music for a while too before, and then I quit.
Yeah. What was the reason behind quitting?
I had to get my life straight. My daughter was in Florida, and I was several states away. I was trying to live the whole entire, I'm going to go be a musician and be successful, which there was some success, but not as much as I would have liked at the time.
Were you doing any like live stuff around that time?
Oh, yeah.
Like playing clubs and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
With the scene, or were you doing it kind of just random shows?
Everything. Minus things that, of course, wouldn't make sense, but anything that was like, hey, you want to do it? Do I have to sell tickets? No? All right, I'm down.
Who were some of the artists you remember playing with that you're kind of like, holy shit, I played with them?
Rehab is one of the biggest ones. Twisted's one of the biggest ones. I performed 2 gatherings.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a lot. I've done a lot. Nothing really stands out too much because each and every one of them was like an experience in its own. Even if there's like 2 people out in the crowd, it's like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
And then there's 1,000, 5,000 people out in the crowd. It's fuck it, let's go.
That just shows that you're like a real performer, because like it doesn't matter the crowd size. Like it's more about getting that rage that you're talking about out and your creativity at the same time.
Yep.
That's like any real artist would put that way higher of a priority over the audience size, I think, personally.
Yeah, and then that should. I mean, if you're a performing artist, you have to perform. You don't just, I mean, you can stand there if you want. Yeah. But you're not doing anything. And I'm not even saying that you need to have people appeal to you, or you know what I mean. It's an energy. I just don't know how to explain it. Like, you're up there and it's go time. Yeah. Everybody's got their eyes on you. Do something.
What would be the most nostalgic era of your career?
That's a hard one.
I know. Probably, so many gaps too. It's like,
yeah, there's a lot of eras when it came down to my highs and lows. Probably the most nostalgic is probably when The Creep or when Let's Get Violent came out. Yeah. That's because it's when everything started really moving. And I started meeting some really good people at that
10
point.
years ago. I think a lot of your YouTube videos around that era say 10 years ago.
That was a good time.
And you had that the album art. It just said Samson Samson, and then it said The Creep HQ under it and stuff. Like, was that originally going to be an album?
That was
picture of you with the long hair.
No, that was actually it was the Creep headquarters for all my merch at the time.
Okay.
Because that's when we made The Creep. Of course, it blew up when LGV came out, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna ride this. I made this song. I am The Creep. I'm gonna make some creepy shit. That's when at the time, you knew 8 Legs is. Yeah. I hit up 8 Legs at the time. This is before all of us weren't known, pretty much. I was like, yo, can you make me a shirt for this? And my original yellow shirt, my yellow Creep shirt came out, and it was all done by him.
That's dope.
So,
yeah, for some reason I was thinking that was like just the art that you used for that. I was like, is that an album that didn't get put out?
Nah, that was drawn by Olivia.
Okay.
So
I like the coloring on it. It was really, really cool. So let's talk about the future. We're getting pretty close to the end here, but I want to know, like, what's coming up now. This is a huge release, Witch Hunt. What's gonna be the follow up?
My next album will most likely be Enjoy Madness, and that's me because I need to finish it. I need to finish that one in general. I just decided to make a collab album, and that'll probably be my next thing.
Where are you at with that?
Collecting verses.
So
That's
pretty
really
close.
Pretty close, and then I have to send everything to Crossworm for him to start really meshing things.
Cool.
Right now I gotta make a song for Loke and Bad Luck.
Nice.
And then another song. I don't know who I'm getting on it yet, but I most likely will get Killator on it, and then haven't decided a third. It might just be me and Killator, to be honest, and then it's pretty much done.
That sounds like a fucking party of an album.
Yeah, this is me like, hey guys, you remember me? You want to do something?
Dude, that's exciting though. Like seeing. I mean, I love Witch Hunt is amazing because there's hardly any collab on there. But I also love that just kind of see how you work with other artists, like how that formula works with other voices.
And to be 100% honest, that's all I was before this. After Regret, I had never released an album for 10 years. And everything has either been a collab, a single. Like, everybody keeps telling me to ride the singles train. Release a single, and it'll have more because, it's a single. It's going to, whatever, it's a single. I keep telling everybody I've been doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I have been doing this for years. Before it was the thing to do.
On SoundCloud and YouTube and stuff.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, fuck it. I want to release an album. You don't have any clout. I don't care. I want to put it out an album. Yeah.
Well, it's a great way to return with Witch Hunt, I think, just because you display everything there. Like, all of your talents are right there. So I'm glad that you didn't pack it full of features, but it's going to be super exciting to see you working with other artists.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really not even excited for my stuff, for real. Like, Witch Hunt was cool. It was our, let's kick down the door. This is Dirtcore. Here we go. But I think I'm such a fan of music that I'm more excited for everybody else's stuff than my own.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I'm going to get my stuff out the way. It's y'all's turn.
Hell yeah.
I want new music now. Give me it now.
Yeah, dude. And this is going to be cool. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear more about it. Anything else getting released? Any collabs or group projects or anything?
Well, you know what? Fuck it. I don't know if Crossworm. I think Crossworm said something already before, but me and him have a group. It's called Bodies Below Sea Level. It's actually on a hat he wears all the time. There's a hat it's got a star on it.
Yeah.
And then around it in Braille, it says Bodies Below Sea Level.
That's awesome.
And we still haven't really decided what direction we want to take that. Even though that song on the album's dope, it's still not all of us. Like, me and him do so many different types of music that we can't land on one thing for it.
That track is a fucking jammer, man. Like, that's so good.
That's what I can't wait to perform live, and I'm going to be angry if he doesn't perform this live with me because it sounds like it belongs in an audience.
Yeah. No, it reminds me of like some fucking rave, like Blade. Like, you remember that scene in Blade where he's killing everyone at the rave? That's what it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, if you ever make a music video, I think you know what direction to go in for that.
If we ever make a music video.
That's awesome. So, anything else to plug? Anything you want to shout out? Anywhere we can help people can support you?
We're about to announce a new female artist, our first female artist soon. The song is dropping when we announce, so that's cool. That's the one thing I'm really excited about. Of course, shout out to Ra, shout out to Max, shout out to J Hex. Fuck you, Crossworm. No, I'm joking. Shout out to Crossworm. I know Godston's just released his new Sam Hain record of beats.
Oh, cool. Which
is really dope. You can look on Spotify, Deezer, iTunes, damn near everywhere for Witch Hunt. If they want to like buy it, you can do it at Bandcamp, but that's really it.
Hell yeah, man.
We're not really big on. I like selling music and all, but like I haven't really done it in a long time, so I'm not like pressed about it.
That's awesome, man. Well, I think you'll get back in the swing of things. Things seem to be going pretty good right now. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really want
Thank you for having me.
I want to do more with Dirtcore in the future, so hopefully we'll have you back on. Especially once these releases, I'm excited to talk about too. Maybe we can do a listening party. So
I'm down. Look, bro, if you ever, I'm so serious, bring this up to Crossword. If you ever want us all in the same chat, I'm pretty sure all of us would be down. It would be really awkward and loud, and
I've been barking up that tree since the Crossworm episode, or since the Mumra episode. So hopefully that's going to happen. But yeah, we were gonna wait till the Witch Hunt came out, and I think we might wait till Kaleidoscope comes out just so we can have a lot to talk about. But yeah, it's gonna be Max's Kaleidoscope, as everyone probably knows. But yeah. And also that Mumra remix album, I can't wait to hear. So.
Bro, I'm so excited for everything coming out of Dirtcore.
Yeah.
It's like you take all the people I listened to when I was younger and throw them on the same label with me, and now I get to hear all the stuff before everybody else.
Yeah, yeah. And fucking J Hex, I don't even know what to expect. Crossworm J Hex, like that's gonna be crazy.
I can't wait.
I don't even know what that's gonna sound like.
I can't wait.
All right, man. Well, thanks for your time.
Thank you for having me, bro. That was good.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Look in the flame through the smoke. There you will talk to the devil. Talk to the devil. The haze and the death in the air. The red stained coats on the metal. Coats on the metal. In the midst of the fog you will walk upon. Where the blood stains settle. Where the blood stains settle. In the deep underground you will find bodies below sea level. Bodies below sea level. Audio loud for the fix. Bass drop found down in the pits. Waves crash right down in the kicks. The drowned out sound that's lost in the mix. Born from the hate of rejection. Shunned away from the order of selection. The epitome of progression. We are the drug you suck down without a question. Volume jack to the max. Foul face down, blowing out your backs. Sound waves in the place you sleep. The terror from the deep and the fan from the beat. Far from a state of inaction. Lost in the fate of traction. We are the cure for the hurt. Bodies on the ground will evolve in the dirt. Look in the flame through the smoke. There you will talk to the devil. Talk to the devil. The haze and the death in the air. The red stained coats on the metal. Coats on the metal. In the midst of the fog you will walk upon. Where the blood stains settle. Where the blood stains settle. In the deep underground you will find bodies below sea level. Bodies below sea level. Raise up hell on the beat. Never suffer loss or defeat. Mechanized killers on the loose. Give no quarter nor do we seek truce. Far from the sickening delusion of a false god, lie and confusion. I am the reverend of the dirt. Vigilant, brutal, irreverent, and alert. Call upon us for the sound to repeat. Feel the serotonin rise every time you seek that feeling, the pumped up killing. Rush the status quo every time we in the building. Scorn from the fate of success. But we take all this pain like a test. Slaughter the enemies and off any foe with a fuck you energy. Look in the flame through the smoke. There you will talk to the devil. The haze and the death in the air. The red stained coats on the metal. In the midst of the fog you will walk upon. Where the blood stains settle. In the deep underground you will find bodies below sea level.